jealousy. So let's have a look here what cards I get here. Was he jealous? Was Prince Andrew actually jealous of Charles? I think they were jealous of each other. That's what's coming through here. I think that if they were wise enough when they reached their 30s and 40s, they should have both gone to some kind of, you know, therapy sessions, because that would have helped a great deal. But no, they didn't. They didn't kind of delve deep why this should be happening, because they were not educated. I don't feel they were educated in. They were certainly educated in wealth and economy and you know, how to get money and to be diplomats and that kind of thing. But when it came to psychology, I don't feel they knew. I feel what I'm getting here is that they kind of were jealous of each other. And so the first card I get here is there is well, I get here that there is a lot of cruelty in this relationship. Yeah, so this card here, I get this relationship between Andrew and Charles was cruel. The way that they were pitted against each other in a way. I feel, would you blame the Queen for that? But I do get that. I feel there was a lot of mental anguish growing up as boys. Growing up as boys, there was a lot of mental anguish and suffering at the ends of this relationship with each other. They also were separated. I feel that I don't know the history. I should have maybe looked into that, but that's coming through here. They were separated as boys. Prince Charles went to some boarding school, and they were not very close. I don't feel that they were ever close. So they both have suffered following a separation from each other. This didn't help, okay. This didn't help, but I feel that the Queen felt, you know, eventually, further down the line, you're both going to, you know, you're both going to be sitting there regally together, you know, as Charles to be king and Andrew to follow, not follow Charles around, but definitely Andrew would be part of that, as that's how the Queen saw it, okay. But look at the way it's kind of panned out. We're kind of moving into that never happened, because in all honesty, we've gone way past that. Prince Charles is 71 and he's not even king yet, and yeah, the Queen is still the Queen, and she's still doing her duties. She's handed some over, but it's not kind of transpired like that, where the Queen has handed this the kingship to Charles, and then they've kind of got into the positions that they're supposed to be in, the positions that they were brought up with to be. This has not transpired because they're getting old. They're getting old. I mean, Prince Andrew is reaching, isn't he? He's 60, isn't he? I'm not sure how old he is. You probably know. Isn't he 60? And Prince Charles is 71. So, and there's also that age gap there too. I don't feel that there's any love lost between them. I just feel they've always had this rivalry, and then there's this question: is Prince Andrew Lord Porchester's son? You know, is this why they hate each other so much. But they've always kind of had this really strong problem between them. That there's always been this rivalry between them. I get Charles resents him because he's received more love from the Queen as a mother, and even to this day, the Queen will kind of stop Prince Charles in his tracks when he's talking, and try and put him down and say, "Don't be ridiculous," that kind of putting him down. But when it comes to Andrew, she doesn't do that to him. So that there is this. Maybe the Queen did love Andrew more than Charles, but anyway, that there has been anguish here between them for all of their lives, I feel. And we've gone really past this, like your place in the royal family, because when Charles becomes when the Queen passes, when she dies, it may be another 10 years, because she's very strong and she's very fit. It may be another 10 years, and then Charles would be 81, and you might as well say, "Oh, just forget it." Just forget that I ever should be king, because I'm kind of 81 now, and Prince Andrew, like, he's 70 or something, so even retired. So there was no kind of, I think that in the mind of the Queen, I don't feel she thought she was going to live this long. She was thinking, "Oh, when I'm 80, I'll probably, and then you'll become king," or something like that. But now this is just an illusion. Becoming king is just an illusion. So there's no kind of heir and the spare, because none of these guys are going to have a very long, well, Prince Charles is not going to have a very long reign as king. So if he becomes king at 80 years old, I don't see Prince Charles living extreme, especially, I actually pick up that Camilla will not be in public life for very long. I think she will suffer from her health, and I feel this is because of I get that she likes a drink, and I actually feel that her memory is going, her cognitive thinking is going already, and I feel another 10 years, I feel that Camilla will not even be wanting to be seen in public. And then we've got Charles, who's 81, and I do get problems with his heart. So what I predict with Charles is that he's actually not going to be fit enough to be king. And the Queen Consort is certainly not going to be fit enough to be Queen Consort. So here we have it, that there's this like wanting to take this place of being king, and when he does take this role, they're both going to be in ill health, and they're not going to do walkabouts, they're not going to be able to do tours and things like that. So, and that's my prediction, that at that point I think this will be handed to William. What is the point? We've both got ill health here. William might as well take over. I don't want William to go through what I went through. Certainly Charles will be king, but I don't feel that it's going to be a very long reign at all. He'll be 81 in 10 years, and then and then possibly maybe 8 years reign or something, and then he's going to have heart problems and he's not going to be able to walk around and do these things. Okay, so that's the prediction there. Okay, so there is rivalry, but it's a pointless what this is saying, this reading, there is a rivalry, but this has been pointless all their lives, because how this has transpired is when Charles does become king, there's nothing to be jealous of, because he's not going to be able to fulfill that role, which is, you know, which is a turn up for the books really. But they have been pitted against each other. Who is in hierarchy for this? Okay. I get as well that whenever Charles sees Andrew happy, he doesn't, for whatever reason, he does not like to see him happy. Whether it's just a simple happiness, okay, whether it's just celebrating, you know, the wedding of his daughters, or just something simple, it kind of overshadows it by, well, do we have to do that? Do we have to do this? You know, and kind of pours cold water over Andrew's happiness. He seems to have this knack of doing this, does Charles. He hates the fact that Andrew is happier than him, and that comes from his childhood, because he felt that actually Andrew was happier than him. He had the attention of the Queen, his mother, more than he did. He got more love than he did, and then there was this, like, he was happier, he seemed happier than he was. And even when he had all these girlfriends around him, I think that the jealousy came from Charles, because he's, you know, this baby boy is born, and there's a big age gap, and it's like, and that boy is getting smothered with love. While Charles is at some diabolical boarding school where he's getting abused. Okay, so yeah, lots of inroads here. So it gets celebration, the 10 of Cups, and I feel this is signifies that, I feel this is Charles. He does not like to see his brother Andrew. Charles wants to see his downfall, and Charles does not want to see his brother being happy amongst powerful people. I don't know what it does to him. I feel he's just felt this is it hatred or this disdain for his brother for since he's been born. And Andrew's not got it. All the while he's kind of thinking, what have I done wrong? And he's tried to get close to Charles, but he's not allowed it. Okay. And he's actually put some kind of stop on his finances. He's done that a number of times over the years. He's influenced you know, the privy purse or the income or whatever this is, and he's tried to stop this income for Andrew here. And Andrew has always been battling to earn money through the royal family, and Andrew feels it's his right to earn money through the family, and he's always had to juggle his finances. Has Andrew. Wow. So and Andrew's not understood this. Why is it you don't want me to earn money? Why at every turn are you thwarting my financial welfare? Why are you doing this? And why don't you want to see me happy? Why do you not want to see me happy? Because in terms of Fergie, him and Fergie, is like he doesn't feel like they should be together, because he does not want his brother to be happier than him. Okay, so trying to maintain the peace, I feel that's what this is between both these brothers. I think they hate each other, in all honesty. That's what I pick up here, because they have a different perspective in life, and they just both try to maintain the peace. They say niceties to each other, but I feel that Charles can't help himself. He will say some carb comment to him, like, you know, you really shouldn't be associating with politics and all sorts of things. He just needs to stick in the knife every time they talk to each other. Charles seems to want to wipe the smile off Andrew's face all of the time, okay. But there is a rapid negotiation here. I think this is to do with, you know, this demise here of Andrew, although it's to do with the Queen compensating and giving and spoiling him because he's not the future king. But look how it's transpired. You know, Charles is not going to be the future king until he's almost pegging it, really, and it's kind of, and now we have this this man who feels entitled, who is arrogant, who feels he has a right to because his mother said so. I feel the whole family needs to go and get therapy. I do, because this is mental health, true mental health, dysfunctional family that I can kind of think of, because there's no love here. There's no love for each other. Just juggling the relationship and maintaining the peace and the happiness that Andrew is experiencing in the whole of his life. Prince Charles wants to crush it. Prince Charles wants to crush the happiness here. No matter what he does, I think he was left alone for a while with these patronages and charities, which he's done really well with. But now they're all dropping like flies. I think that Charles would be happy about this, because I get here that the Eight of Wands. I do also get with Andrew, although we do have this Epstein thing going on. I'm not talking about the Epstein thing. I'm talking about this relationship with Charles. There is a swift negotiation. Get it out of the way. Do this, and I feel that's talking to the FBI. I'll do a reading on that too, but I get that although this is going on, Prince Andrew has got some great connections that he wants to continue with, but not in public. So because this is how he's thinking of a new direction to take his life here, not to take his life physically. Well, I hope not. I think he's thought about that. But no, I'm not doing that. I will, you know, I am a member of the royal family. I will get scandals like this. This will happen. I'm scrutinised and all of this kind of thing. He realises that. But he's going to take his life in a new direction. The rebirth card. And some vocation is calling here. His mission in life here. It's something to do with the entrepreneurship kind of thing that he's created, that he's doing so well with, that he's worked on, and he's very proud of this. I think that's been on the news recently. He's still going to do that behind the scenes. The way I see this, he's going to still do things behind the scenes, but not kind of in public. Because he needs to earn some money. The Ace of Pentacles. He needs to earn some money, and they've had these discussions. You know, I can't give all of this up because I've got to earn my money here. I'm not going to give up, but I've built up for so long. But I feel Charles would be happy for him to fail at everything. That's what's coming through here. I think this downfall of Andrew is kind of making Charles quite pleased. And I don't know, I thought I'd picked it up that, yeah, I feel the Queen has kind of spoiled Andrew, that he feels entitled to be equal to his brother Charles in the way that he makes money and he associates with powerful people. Yes, this has got him into this mindset where he feels he can be equal in a different way. Has got him into this hot water here. So yeah, there has been both sides that they've been competing. I get Andrew saying to him, I'll show you, you don't want me to succeed, but I'll show you, you know, that kind of thing. Now I get here, there is this selfishness, this arrogance around Andrew. But I think he's got to drop this. He's got to drop this arrogance, this self-centeredness, this kind of entitlement. I think he needs to evolve and kind of be mindful from now on. And I think he needs to do a lot of work on that, because there is this inability to actually surrender. There's an inability to surrender this part of his personality. But I think he's got to, because I feel once he does this, and once he takes the back seat and not be in public, and just doing what he loves in behind the scenes, he's going to be okay. He's going to be happy in terms of, after he's sorted out this Epstein thing, he's going to sort this out. He's waiting for the FBI and the law enforcement to come to him. He's welcoming. Okay, he's welcoming that to happen. And he is going to, I don't know how he's going to get out of this. He will get away with this, and I've said this before. Because I see him being okay. Now I've got the King of Wands here, the King of Wands, and I guess he is he an Aries? Andrew, I'm not sure what his star sign is, but I get a fire sign here. He's going to come out of this okay, but wiser. I feel wiser, because he's going to drop these powerful people and just work on these projects he's worked on, and you know, invite kind of business people and to advise entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurial ships and things like that. But I think he's going to be mindful of yeah, he let it, like he said, he let the guard down. He let his guard down, and he regrets letting his guard down. And he's kind of learning from this. But why he did it in the first place, I feel, to actually earn as much money or even more money than Charles, because you know, Charles has got a very opulent lifestyle. You know, he's got his farms, he's got his land, and all of that kind of thing. I'm not saying that Andrew is penniless, he's not, but I feel that he's going to continue with his projects, but away from, you know, taking a back seat, and actually that's going to make Charles happy, because that's what Charles wants. he wants Andrew to actually take a back seat, and this is what's going to happen. Okay, but the irony of this is when Charles does become king, and that's what he's been prepared for, all these horrible boarding schools that he went to, and the way he's been schooled, and Cambridge University and all of this kind of thing. It's only going to be for about although he does a lot of work now, it's only going to be for about at least 7 to 8 years reign, and then he's not going to be well enough to continue. So he's going to say, I'm tired, and I'm kind of going to hand this over to William. So, and also I do actually predict that there's going to be a wave of unfavour towards Charles and Camilla. There's still going to be a bit of a backlash there about what happened to Diana, and he's not going to be a very popular king, in all honesty. And I feel he's just going to think, well, I waited all this time, and now I'm not even popular. So, and William is popular. He'd be a fantastic king, would William. So that's the reading there. A little bit of inroads, outer roads, and all of that kind of thing. I thought I'd bring that to you, a little bit of a different look at why Andrew did these things, and why it's all transpired this way. What is the root cause here of his entitlement, his arrogance, and wanting to be better and more powerful? It's a similar story, ironically, with William and Harry. Now, William and Harry must kind of make amends, because they do not want a lifetime of what Andrew and Charles had. They need to make amends, and we've got Meghan, who wants to be queen, and it's not going to happen. So thank you for watching. Please put your comments down below. Please subscribe, because the more subscriptions I get, I will be able to go live, and we'll do live and interactive royal shows. So don't forget to do that. And as soon as I get a lot of subscribers on my new channel, I'll be able to do the live shows. So please put your comments down below and your thumbs up. That all those things help. And I will see you for the next reading. Okay, and bye for now. Bye bye.